In this video, I'm going to show you two simple postural tests that you can do on yourself. They'll take about 30 seconds and it'll give you a good idea on what sort of areas you may need to work on. Now, the reason this is important is if you're wanting to improve your posture, then really we want to be able to have a baseline or a point at which we can work off of. So as you start to improve your posture through the right steps, you can see how far you've come. Hi, I'm Craig from Elevate Chiropractic, and when someone comes and sees me in practice, I do quite a thorough posture assessment, and this includes taking photos. We use a program where we can place markers on them to see how far out of alignment certain things are. I do my own visual analysis, and we check other things like their feet and shoulders and bits and pieces as well. But obviously we can't always do that yourself at home. So in this video I'm going to show you two very simple tests. As I said before, they'll take you about 30 seconds to do. Ideally you can do these in front of the mirror, but you don't really have to. You can just look down and see the results, and you'll see what I mean by that a little bit later on. But there's two tests, one for the upper body and one for your lower body. So let's go have a look at how to do that. Okay, so our first test here is an upper body postural test. What we're going to do is we're going to stand there, we're going to have our arms down by our side, we're going to make a few circles of the shoulders, shove them up and down a few times, walk left and right. I like to close my eyes with this. And we're going to come back to normal and sort of fall into a position that you're most comfortable in. Okay, there's no point in cheating yourself and sort of standing up in a good posture if that's not how you would normally be, right? So you're going to stand there, and then you're going to open your eyes and either look down or look in the mirror if you're standing in front of the mirror, and see what your hands are doing. In particular, I want you to see which part of your hand can you see. Can you see this part of your hand, or can you see the back of your hand? In a normal, ideal postural position, we're going to have this part of our hand pointing forwards. Okay. If we go into that rounded position, then our arms roll in, and you end up seeing more of the back of the hand. So in my case, just because of my spinal curve, the shoulder's a little bit higher than me. It rolls in a little bit just because of that curve, so I see more of the back of this hand. But I've been working on this for a while, and I'm starting to make some good changes with that. But it'll be interesting to see what you see. So our second test here is a lower body postural test. Again, we're going to stand up, but this time what we're going to do is we're going to march on the spot a few times, okay? I do like to do this with my eyes shut, but do whatever feels more comfortable for you. So you're going to march for about sort of 10-15 steps or so, then you're going to stop, and then you're going to look down and see what your feet are doing. Are they pointing straight ahead? Are they pointing outwards? Is one foot out, one straight, one in, one straight, or any sort of combination of what your feet could potentially do. Ideally, what we're going to have is our feet pointing straight ahead. What we see most commonly these days is our feet tend to start to move outwards. Okay. Now, the main problem with this, as we have our feet turned out, is they tend to then roll in, and that starts to cause the loss of the arch in the middle of the foot, puts pressure on the knee and your hip, and then can have a flow-on effect from there. So again, nice and simple, march on the spot a few times, see where your feet are, and that'll give you an idea of what areas or what issues you may need to deal with if you're wanting to improve your posture. So those are the two simple postural tests, the upper body and the lower body. So hopefully you've tried them and you've got an idea of how good or bad your posture is and what areas you potentially need to work on. If you know someone that you think should try these, make sure you tag them down below, and we can see how good or bad their posture is and what areas that they could potentially work on. But also keep an eye out for next week's video, where we're going to show you how to get into that neutral position that we talked about in those tests. It is fairly simple, but there's a few steps to go by, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. Once again, thank you for watching this video. I'm Craig from Elevate Chiropractic, and we'll see you soon.